Presented by Listen Headlines. Latest financial news from trusted sources.
Naked Capitalism. October 30th. 6:54 America, New York. IM doc on medication, medical supply shortages and political backlash. Key parts of the medical industry in the U.S. are being held together with duct tape and baling wire. What happens if the stresses get worse? Naked Capitalism. October 30th. 6:50 America, New York. Bob Pollin. Stop subsidizing Wall Street. Start subsidizing workers for high energy costs. Bob Pollin. High oil prices and supply chain disruption are driving inflation, not workers' modest wage increases or government debt. Floppy_disk.
New York Times Business. October 30th. 6:13 America, New York. Biden finds raising corporate tax rates easier abroad than at home. As the Group of 20 seals a new global minimum tax for companies, the president has scaled back his plans to tax U.S. corporations more. President Biden on Friday at the Chiga Palace in Rome.
Global Economy. October 30th. 6 o'clock America, New York. Mexico's economic contraction clouds pandemic recovery. GDP growth has stalled and faces more risks from supply chain disruptions and a mercurial government.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business. October 30th. 5:33 America, New York. Here's why Uber and Lyft prices are still high. Hailing an Uber or a Lyft ride? You'll still face elevated prices due to a shortage of drivers, the latest example of how a tight labor market is costing consumers more while also raising pay for workers.
Wall Street Journal Markets. October 30th. 5:30 America, New York. Narrowing yield gap signals worries over Fed growth. The recent trend for shorter and longer-term treasuries reflects tension between investors' anticipation of higher interest rates and their concerns about economic growth.
Google Business News. October 30th. 5:30 America, New York. Google My Business team aware of businesses getting suspended issue, Pianica Web. Google My Business team aware of businesses getting suspended issue, Pianica Web.
New York Times Business. October 30th. 5 o'clock America, New York. Has the Christmas shopping season overtaken Halloween? Retailers, and some celebrities, are getting into the holiday spirit super early this year. New York Times Business. October 30th. 5 o'clock America, New York. How the shooting on the Alec Baldwin set happened. A reconstruction of the events leading up to the fatal shooting of the cinematographer of Rust, the Alec Baldwin Western, reveals a troubled production and a series of errors. The entrance to the Bonanza Creek Ranch set outside Santa Fe, NM, where Rust was being filmed. New York Times Business. October 30th. 5 o'clock America, New York. Halloween supply chain issues make finding costumes the scariest part. Good luck trying to find a meme-inspired costume, or any costume at all. Classics never go out of style, or out of stock. New York Times Business. October 30th. 5 o'clock America, New York. Rick Steves on the return of travel and why it matters. The travel writer and TV personality is back in Europe, planning itineraries for next year. Travel, he says, can help us understand the world. Here's how he recommends doing it. New York Times Business. October 30th. 5 o'clock America, New York. UAE, an oil giant, aims to burnish climate credentials. Trying to attract investors and retain customers, the United Arab Emirates says it will step up its efforts to cut emissions. The Abu Dhabi National Oil Company's Ruwais petrochemical complex is drawing investment from Europe and Asia. New York Times Business. October 30th. 5 o'clock America, New York. What if it never gets easier to be a working parent? The shock of the pandemic threw care-taking arrangements into disarray. Many families find themselves back in the same precarious arrangement they had before, with the burden still on mothers. Jennifer Simpkins, picking up her children from after-school care in Downingtown, PA.
Daily FX Market News. October 30th. 4 o'clock America, New York. U.S. dollar forecast. Fed QE taper. Non-farm payrolls. Wall Street volatility risk. The U.S. dollar rose as markets await the Fed, the start of QE tapering and NFPs. Still, USD has broadly underperformed in October. It might have its chance to shine next.
Marginal Revolution. October 30th. 2:33 America, New York. Potential and the gender promotion gap. We show that widely used subjective assessments of employee potential contribute to gender gaps in promotion and pay. Using data on 30,000 management track employees from a large retail chain, we find that women receive substantially lower potential ratings despite receiving higher job performance ratings. Marginal revolution. October 30. 022 America New York, will stablecoins have fluctuating prices? That is the topic of my latest Bloomberg column. Here is one excerpt. Even if all goes well, why should those different brands of stablecoins remain priced at $1 apiece? In most well-functioning markets, suppliers compete on innovation, quality and price.
Armstrong Economics. October 30. 007 America New York. Judge rules against Biden's violation of religious exemptions. A Washington, D.C. District Judge Colleen Collar-Catelli has temporarily blocked Biden from firing unvaccinated federal workers. The judge found that the order was unconstitutional as it has failed to acknowledge employees seeking religious exemptions. Armstrong Economics. October 30. 006 America New York. A Fed first on unemployment and mental health. The October 20, 2021 release of the Federal Reserve's Beige Book revealed that the central bank is worried about Americans' mental health, and with good reason. Armstrong Economics. October 30. 001 America New York. Victoria to make emergency powers permanent. The post-Victoria to make emergency powers permanent first appeared on Armstrong Economics.
BBC News Business. October 29, 2308 America New York. Facebook's metamorphosis, will it work? Will Mark Zuckerberg's bet on a new name in the metaverse succeed?
Daily FX Market News. October 29, 2000 America New York. Bitcoin, BTC, steadies around $61,000. Ethereum, ETH, posts a new all-time high. The cryptocurrency market is back on the front foot and pushing higher after a midweek clear out, and both Ethereum and Bitcoin look good to move even higher.
New York Times Business. October 29. 1937 America New York, a global tax deal is at hand. Here's how it would work. President Biden will sign on to an international pact aimed at ending profit shifting by large companies. Here's a look at what it means. President Biden is in Rome to attend the Group of 20 summit, where leaders are expected to sign off on a global minimum tax.